Energy Airforce aimStrike Let's Play Update 11.
Let's go over the details of your mission. We've picked up an enemy air formation to the north of Dorgon. They're approaching the base, and it appears they're planning to bomb it.
You don't say.
Gargoyle and Cougar, your job is to engage and destroy the air units. During the mission, be sure to stay alert for enemy SAMs. Your launch time is 1200 hours. That's all, and good hunting.
Okay, let's assemble quickly. We need every AMRAAM they've got. We're not going to hide too much today.
Gargoyle, clear to taxi runway 36. Check altimeter, hold shorter runway. Gargoyle, clear to taxi.
Huh, the landing gear doesn't render here too. Right, there is something about this mission the briefing doesn't tell you. In fact, it doesn't tell you a whole lot. For now, the important detail is that we are on the escort extermination duty. The bombers are on the other flight.
Amcon 1.
Maybe this way they won't notice I'm late. Why didn't I skip this? After this, there are only 2 missions to the end of the story, and one of them starts on the carrier. At least there we won't have to wait for elevators, unfolding wings and hooking onto the catapult.
Cougar flight, we show you at waypoint 1. Starburst, copy waypoint data.
I only now noticed that the running lights at the end of the runway are actually elevated above ground on lampposts. Let's do it.
Gargoyle, strike, Queen Airborne. Starburst, this is Gargoyle checking in. Starburst, Cougar checking in right behind us.
What? How? Cougar is miles ahead. The dialogue timing just gets worse with every mission. So, what else can I say about this plane that's too expensive to buy, to fly, and to throw away?
Gargoyle flight, we show you at waypoint 1. Target is at bearing 015. Gargoyle copies hitting, Starburst. It's funny, the feeling is so different when you're going up to defend yourself instead of blast them. I don't know, it freaks me out every time, no matter what we're doing. Well, don't freak on me until we get those damn bombers, okay?
2. Shut up. Oh yeah, another contributing factor to the current state of the F-22 project were the Russians and the Chinese. But, well, not in the industrial sabotage kind of way. They simply failed to make their own 5th-generation fighters, stealth aircraft, or anything of that kind. And thus the F-22 turned out to be a massive overkill, even by American standards. It is possible that eventually somebody somewhere will finally make a stealth fighter to rival the F-22 and the money will flow back into the program. But for now the smaller F-35 is all people need, and they aren't sure of that either. This is turning out to be an exciting mission. Maybe the briefing guy who was unsure about the enemy intentions was right. Maybe they're coming to bring us flowers and we've ruined the surprise. Don't tell me I've packed all those 14 AMRAAMs for nothing. Spoilers, the enemy flight doesn't actually make an appearance for another 2 minutes. This is just awful game design. I could have killed a boss in some JRPG in the time it takes to get to a routine encounter here. At least there are no loading times and no stuttering when you play aimStrike on a console. So you could try to spin this droning positively by saying that this game has a very high gameplay to loading ratio. That will make it sound better than some RPGs where you stare at loading screens at both ends of a random encounter longer than it takes you to kill enemies and loot them. Note that the Cougar flight, marked by a blue lollipop vector on the technical screen, is already at the waypoint, but still does not fly ahead. They're waiting for us, I guess. And we're almost a minute ahead of the planned time on station, so this mission was just planned all around horribly. The first Wing Commander had a time skip option, and you could still fly the entire mission in real time if you wanted to. I don't know what to do, I'll just wiggle my butt.
Gargoyle flight, we show you at waypoint 2. Target is at bearing 330. Copy, Starburst. Okay, everybody let's spool it up. Fence in. Going to multi-target track. OJ and Vito take the bombers. Porkins and I got the escorts.
Hey, and what do we get?
Airforce 1.
I'm not stealthy, but I'll still use the magic radar mode just so that the enemy doesn't get too excited. Although anyone getting excited is one of the major things we've been lacking so far. Maybe it's all part of some game designer decision. I mean, technically they can't put too many targets into a mission because the maximum number of missiles some flyables can carry is 6. What's that? They're already here. Who spotted them and when? Anyway, they can't have too many targets, so maybe someone decided that they should make the player really glad to finally see some action. You know, instead of blazing through the entire game in one evening. Am I seeing things? The enemies are just circling there, aren't they? This mission looks worse with every minute.
Cougar flight, we show you at waypoint 2. Cougar 1, copy, Starburst.
Oh great, Cougar flight is checking in at the waypoint way behind us.
Lock.
Well, here are the Tupolevs.
Airforce 1.
Someone? Anyone? I've got Blackjack on the radar. 2, would you like to report them? I have no idea what's going on.
That's one damn big spike.
Oh, you noticed. 2, what's your expert opinion?
That's one damn big spike. All aircraft, double check IFF. You're cleared hot. Appears to be even counts of bombers and escorts. Right where they were supposed to be. Let's break up their little party right now.
It did look like a party.
Coming in against air target. Cougar, your boys got those blackjacks under control? Absolutely, Roach. Okay, keep the fulcrums off their backs.
2's call sign is Roach.
Gargoyle, fire control radar signals near your position. Probably Mud 19. Advise extreme caution.
Roger, Jackknife. Thanks.
I'm not repeating the same mistake again. I'm not firing any more AMRAAMs until those 2 are done.
Okay, bombers are mine this time. Cover me, Porkins. OJ and Beetle, clean up the escorts. Gargoyle flight, we show you at waypoint 3.
I can't even tell one contact from another on the warning screen.
Gargoyle 1, good kill. I've got 2! I've got 2!
Keep it.
Gargoyle 1, target's at 1 o'clock.
Is that a Blackjack falling?
I've lost him, somebody pick him up!
Why did a whole lot of green contacts just flash on the warning display?
I've got 2. Gargoyle 1, target's at 10 o'clock.
Missile wasted. I wish I could coordinate with my wingman.
Watch the tank. Watch the tank back. Press him hard, OJ.
I've got an idea. Let's help Cougar Flight and get some entertainment out of that.
Gargoyle 2, Fox 3. I've got tone.
I'm not wasting an AMRAAM at this distance.
Good kill.
Where are unguided rockets when you need them?
Gargoyle 2, Fox 3.
Gargoyle 1, good kill.
Wow. I see both this game and SF2 belong to the ludicrously efficient gun school of thought.
I've got tone.
Lock.
Somebody get him.
Cougar, Gargoyle, we copy multiple splashes.
That's affirmative, Starburst. All bombers and escorts are down. Multiple shoots.
Roger that. Great work. We're vectoring in SAR choppers now. Cougar, we confirm numerous splashes. Great work.
Piece of cake.
Great. Now what do we do? This mission brings our blackjack total to at least 12. How did they all get here? I think I can come up with a backstory. I can see Cougar Flight far ahead. Anyway, say the Tu-160 fleet was split up between several post-Soviet republics. And they couldn't come to any agreement on who should get them and how, so they ended up selling them to various buyers. And then it turned out that those buyers were all just fronts for evil fundamentalists building their own Air Force with blackjack and flankers. And now they're using them as conventional bombers here because they don't have the missiles the plane was supposed to carry.
Gargoyle 1, tell me what to do.
This story really isn't too far from the realm of possibility. Russia got a few of its blackjacks from Ukraine in exchange for giving them some debt. You see, after the Soviet Union kicked the bucket, almost all of the state-run industries, and that's almost all of the industries across the republics, pretty much died. The governments had no money for contracts and subsidies, the supply lines were cut and production chains ended up separated by borders. And all facilities like shipbuilding yards, metal processing plants, design bureaus and many others had to fend for themselves and look for ways of making money and surviving in the new economy. So a lot of silly and sad things happened. For example, a would-be aircraft carrier Ulyanovsk, a proper carrier, simply a massive ship, ended up forgotten and half-finished on some scaffolding by the Black Sea in Ukraine. All work on it ceased after the fall of the USSR and the shipbuilding yard was looking for some contracts to actually bring them cash. One day a company from Norway turned up and made a lucrative offer. They needed some compact tankers, and the docks were just the right size for their construction.
Gargoyle, say your state and proceed to next station. Target is at bearing 195.
Gargoyle copies hitting, Starburst.
But one of them was occupied by the carrier. So to get on with the deal, the shipbuilders have cut the unfinished carrier into pieces for scrap metal. But once they were done, the Norwegian contractor has vanished, along with the contract. And the carrier was gone, and they couldn't even sell the metal for a while because shit like this was going on all over the former USSR, and everyone was up to their ears in scrap of former big Soviet dreams. I see we have another target waypoint ahead of us. That's unusual.
Gargoyle 2 has been locked up. Defending.
Are you making this up too? There's nothing around here except for that SAM, and that's not even close.
I know.
Another way of surviving in the 90s were the titanium shovels. Funny how the USSR couldn't spare titanium for their own fighters, and then in Russia you could buy garden tools made out of it. The metalworks that processed titanium had to survive somehow and made tools for gardening, something a lot of people took to at that time to get fresh vegetables cheaper, or at all. Back then spontaneous gardeners' markets would often pop up near empty grocery stores. Oh, and some batches of shovels were even made out of alloys compounded to build spacecraft. Yes, there was also that time when Lockheed Martin worked together with Yakovlev.